Hi, I'm Andrew Douch. If you've ever flown with a budget airline, then you'd be familiar with this situation, when the plane's taxiing down the runway about to take off, and in that precious window of time, a flight attendant stands up and gives a safety demonstration. If you look around the cabin during that time, you'll notice that very few people actually pay attention to the safety instructions at all. Compare that to what happens on an Air New Zealand flight. I was on my way to Auckland and screens came down from the ceiling and the New Zealand All Blacks started singing the safety instructions to the tune of Men in Black. And of course, everybody on the cabin was watching. They're delivering their safety message more effectively than the way it's done on a budget airline. But they're doing something else better as well. Because Air New Zealand has looked at their flight attendants and identified that part of their work lends itself to being recorded. And in fact, not only does it lend itself to being recorded, but when it's recorded, it's even more effective. And by recording that, they free their flight attendants up to move through the cabin slowly and deliberately, checking the seatbelts and bags of their passengers to make sure they're safe. I think that's a great metaphor for what lecturers in the Monash University School of Physics and Astronomy are doing. They're using a light board, which is a large sheet of illuminated glass on which they can write with neon dry erase markers that create an almost glow-in-the-dark effect. It's almost as though the writing is floating in space between the lecturer and the student. And that enables them to take the expert teaching they'd have once delivered live in a lecture theatre and instead produce a video lesson that's much more compelling for students to watch. At the same time, of course, they've freed up their valuable face-to-face time so that students and teachers can work in the PACE studios with their hands-on physics equipment, actively applying the concepts that have been taught in those videos.
The Lightboard Studio, where you can write in mid-air and it will pop with a neon glow. And we've done the stage of planning and implementation of these, and CETU results have indicated that they've been well received, to the point where students now expect it as standard across all of their physics units.
These days, universities the world over record live lectures and upload them for students to watch at home. And there are obvious and significant advantages in doing that. For one thing, students can pause a video at any time to take notes or to think about a concept that's just been explained. They can revisit a lecture too. Or a student who's away sick doesn't have to miss out on that expert teaching. But I think there are also some disadvantages of uploading lectures too. For one thing, it invites absenteeism. Lots of students skip lectures because they figure they can just watch a video later. In fact, when you think about it, it's a wonder that many students turn up to lectures at all.
Because they're not coming to classes anymore. They've stopped attending lectures. At least they've stopped attending the boring lectures, those that's just where they sit there passively nodding off. They want stimulation and active learning opportunities in their classes.
But uploading recordings of live lectures is a very different thing to what lecturers in the School of Physics and Astronomy are doing. They're not uploading recordings of live lectures. In fact, they're not even giving live lectures. They're creating purpose-built videos that teach the concepts that they need their students to understand so they can use their face-to-face time to do things that are immersive, interactive and participatory. And of course, because they are interactive and participatory, students feel the need to be there to participate and to interact, and so attendance rates are high, and so is engagement.
Resources like the Lightboard Studio or even just screencasting for pre and post lecture videos really make you go all in when it comes to things like studio teaching, because you're no longer burdened by rocking up to the studio and feeling compelled to give a 5 or 10 or even 40-minute lectorial. If you've got the content delivered to the students outside of class, it really makes you fully invested in the flipped pedagogy of having face-to-face time and problem solving in class.
And I saw that as an opportunity to maybe deliver some of the content in that way, pre-class. So they're using their devices, using their technology to get the content. We deliver the content through that technology. And then when they're in class, we put the technology aside and instead have the students work with each other.
While the physics and astronomy teachers are using elaborate and expensive equipment to do what they're doing, you can achieve the same pedagogical outcome using inexpensive equipment that's really easy to use. If you're just getting started, a really great place to start is with a free piece of software called Screencast-O-Matic, which is available for both Mac and PC. It allows you to record your screen. If you can see it on the screen, you can record it with Screencast-O-Matic, whether it's a PowerPoint presentation or perhaps interactive whiteboard software. If you'd rather stand in front of your slides like I'm doing, then you'll need some green screen software. I'm using a piece of green cloth that I bought from Spotlight for $20 and a $5 app called Green Screen by DoInk, which is so easy to use that I've literally seen primary school students using it. If you'd like to go upmarket a little bit further beyond that, then dotted throughout Monash University in the Learning and Teaching building, among other places, there are micro studios that are already fitted out with a green screen and camera. However you do it, taking the expert teaching that you're currently delivering live in a lecture theatre and instead recording it as a video for your students to watch before they come to class frees up time in class for active learning.